Hey, welcome to Bible and Wi-Fi.
Welcome Bible and Wi-Fi, day one.
Day one of week 3. Hey, we're continuing God is Pursuing, right? Week 3 in this. You got a couple of sponsors? One sponsor?
Am I allowed to have one?
You're allowed to have one. You had like 27 last time.
Coming at you right here.
Oh.
It's Chewbacca. Yeah. I'm like,
hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I nailed that.
Oh, man.
All right.
You want?
Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah.
Can I?
Well, you got a social distance.
Social distance.
Sorry.
Okay. That's good.
Do you like Pezzy? Okay, I'll let when we're done. All right, focus.
all right.
Sorry. I had one sponsor, but it took a half hour.
That's true. I'll go with sponsor as well. I got Planters peanuts.
Yeah.
Honey roasted. Man, these things are good. Good source of protein. Got some carbs though. That's okay. But hey, let's
we better get busy.
Yeah, let's get busy by having some fun. Let's continue with a game.
Yeah.
This game is going to be called Lamentations or Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Wowzers. All right, so the premise of the game is it's going to show us a line, a sentence, and we have to decide if we think it's from Lamentations or if it's from Taylor Swift. Okay. Also, it's going to be a little more difficult because I'm pretty sure they use the Message version in here. So,
we don't hate.
We don't hate. We don't hate. Haters gonna hate.
All right, let's go.
All right, ready?
First one. Ooh.
Your knives and swords and weapons that you use against me. I'm going Taylor Swift.
I'm gonna go both.
Gonna go both. Curveball.
Ooh.
Got it right.
Me.
Shout out Isabella May. Nope.
Can you sing me?
Not well. Me. All right.
Why you gotta be? Oh, I love that song. That's funny. Okay.
All right. My eyes are blind with tears. My stomach is in a knot. I'm gonna go Lamentations.
I'm gonna go Taylor Swift.
Ooh. 2-0.
All right.
0-2. All right. Last one. Third one. I gotta try to keep my streak. You're like a lion ready to pounce. I'm going T Swift.
I'm going Lamentations then.
All right.
Boom.
Got it right.
Oh
man. All right. Hey, that was.
Hey, tell me the truth. Why did we play that game?
Because we like Taylor Swift.
No.
Oh. Shout out to Isabella May.
And Ryan
huge T Swift fan. Yeah. But it was a fun game. It's kind of difficult. You know, one for 3, 2 for 3. Nobody's perfect. You live in your. Oh, that's Hannah Montana. Yeah. But I hope from the name of the game, Lamentation or Taylor Swift, that you were able to figure out. We're going to be in Lamentations today, which was written by a guy named Jeremiah, who wrote the same book by his own name, Jeremiah, that we looked at last week. In the book of Jeremiah, he tried to turn the people to God and away from their sin and self-centeredness. He wasn't very successful, so God punished them by sending them out into exile, so away from their homes. They went into slavery. And this book was written to them. All right, so Jeremiah wrote this book in 580 BC, and we don't see that the people returned to Jerusalem, to Israel, until 520 BC. So something crazy is that the goodness that Jeremiah writes about in here, the people don't see until nearly 60 years later. Yeah. So it's a cool story, a hard story if you had to live it. But the people, they still complained against God, even though the whole mess was their fault in the first place. Yeah. So was it a result of their sin, or was it something else? That's going to turn it over to you.
Yeah. And so, hey, we've got a couple of lessons we're going to pull out of the book of Lamentations. It's a real small book. You can read it probably in an hour, really. Yeah. But as Corey said, it's Jeremiah, and now he's addressing the people after they've been conquered. And so the whole book deals with how they handle the punishment, how they handle their punishment. The first thing we want to talk about today is a lot of times we associate pain and punishment as a result of our sin, and in this case, it is. And I think that's something that students or even everybody kind of struggles with. When I hear a student come up to me and say, hey, such and such happened to my grandmother, or such and such happened to my family, is that a result of a sin, or why is God doing that? And so I want to kind of temper this down like, hey, our overall society and all of humankind is actually moving away from God and therefore moving towards death right from the Garden of Eden. And that is why we have a lot of pain and suffering in our society. But to put that on an individual level, man, you have to be careful doing that. In this case, it is. But like, if you get hurt in a sport, does that mean is because you lied to your teacher that day? Well, I don't know that that's 100% true. We got to be careful of that. When you get a speeding ticket, yes, it's because you sped. But anyway, one thing, though, we can read through this and see that the people are very honest and open about their feeling and their distress in the midst of their pain and punishment. And so I'm going to read Lamentations 1, verse 20. It says, see, Lord, how distressed I am. This is Jeremiah. He's talking about himself and about his people. I'm in torment within, and in my heart I am disturbed. For why? I have been most rebellious. Jeremiah understands that the people are being punished, and they're in a lot of pain. It's because of their rebellion. And all through that passage, it talks about that there's no comfort, that it seems like they're just groaning and their heart is faint. And so the question that we have for us is, how do you know when you're dealing with a hardship? Is it directly as a result of sin? And that's a question I got for you. It's $1 million question.
Yeah, I think it goes right back to what you said at the beginning is, because of what happened in the Garden of Eden, sin entered the world, and it's progressively gotten worse. Yeah. I think that's definitely fair to say. We always say, you're headed one way or another. You're either headed towards Jesus or you're headed away from him.
Right.
So I have a hard time myself saying, because you're sick, and that's a direct result of sin in your life. When my mom was sick, people said that all the time about her, and it just crushed us. Yeah. It's like, no, that's not the case. So I think if someone's facing hardships, it isn't always a direct result of sin, but because of the sin that's in the world. But the important thing to remember is in those times of hardships, it's not it's not God putting those necessarily on you.
Yeah. But God uses that to get your attention. Right. Absolutely. Good point. Hey, listen, man, that's a good foundation to lay, to see where the people are and how they're reacting to it. In this case, they had a prophet speaking on God's behalf, telling them what was going on. And they didn't listen, and this is the result they got.
Absolutely.
And so, hey, rolling out of that, though,
got a couple announcements.
We got some announcement.
Hey, the first one is High Voltage is returning September 16th.
Yes.
Man, we are so excited for that. One little different thing, instead of doors opening at 6:30, they're going to open at 6:45.
Got it.
Just to keep everything a little bit more streamlined.
Yep.
But man, we are so excited for High Voltage to be returning.
It's going to be awesome.
So, hey, that's it for day one. We'll see you tomorrow for day number 2 of God is Pursuing. All right, see you guys.